So the Assembly did take one procedural action during the executive session to extend the meeting to 3:15. There was unanimous consent on that motion. Madam Vice Chair.
Thank you, Mr. Chair. I move that the release date for the recording of this executive session shall be when all causes of action have been resolved by final judgment or when further claims arising from the matter are otherwise barred.
Second. Any opposition to that motion? Seeing none, that motion carries. As with the last executive session, these tapes will also be available to Mr. Dunbar and Mr. Perez-Verdia of the executive session, and the municipal attorney has agreed to that. All right. Moving on in our agenda then to audience participation. Would anyone like to participate?
Yeah, I'll be brief, just to be on the record, and I'll have a timer, so hardly anyone's here. My name is Eugene Carl Haberman. I represent myself. I follow the public process. When the public process is an appropriate decision made by the governing body is more like the public interest. I addressed the procedures, some of the procedures of concern at the last Assembly meeting concerning the executive session. I alerted to the Assembly at that meeting Tuesday that we specify exactly who's going to be in the meeting. Cite the Assembly members and if it's an attorney and so forth. I was assured by the chair later in the meeting that said, Mr. Haberman, we're sure you were going to have a meeting Friday and we're going to buy. But what happened with this executive session, this particular executive session that you had today, we failed to identify who's in the meeting. I did hear Assembly Member Constant say, there are going to be some members that are going to be needing support and they'll be in the meeting. And names had to be noted. I'm very critical of the borough in Assembly, but the one thing they do correctly that I have to give them credit for is that when they do an executive session of motion, they cite the parties. They listen to the city manager, they cite the name, the clerk, and so forth. The names are cited. And so the public is blind to who was in this room for those executive sessions. Also, you vote when you're out of the executive session, not during, okay? And you go into the public meeting and you vote there to extend the meeting. That did not happen. You didn't identify that you opened the thing up twice to the public when they came in the room. So anyone listening to tape would have no knowledge of the scenario. A couple people like myself have walked into the room and have walked out and then gone into executive session. And I said I'll be brief, and I'll just end it there. And with one last thing that does pertain to this thing. I was glad to see, compliment, the extensive and an open public meeting, the presentations prior to you going to the executive session. They were very informative, and I'm sure it was quite needed, particularly to new members of the Assembly who are new, who may not be familiar with the history, but also who've been around and not know it. That was great, but those kind of presentations, they need to be written copies, they need them on the website, they need to be out there, but that of all the things in this court issue, and the public thinks of court as long, comes to mind when they think of what's going on. It just shows why I've said over the course of time, many times, these meetings need to be WSAC Library, video, audio, because there was very good information provided that the public need to hear it and see you and listen to it too. That's all I have to say with 22 seconds to spare.
Thank you, Mr. Haberman. I do believe Mr. Falsey made it clear that presentation will be available to the public. So hopefully we can get that on the website wherever it will be posted soon.
If we can, we can post it up on the committee page, or you can put it somewhere else. But there's a stack of developing documents on the page. Just send that forward to myself and the clerk.
So before I adjourn, just a reminder for the members if they can pass their notes on to me, and then I will give them to the clerk. Any further audience participation? Seeing none, this meeting is adjourned. Thank you.